Standard growth enhancement. Oh, hey, look. Hello, my name is nothing. A fetal. Standard growth enhancement agents, 150% concentration, plus additional growth hormones obtained from Project Seed. Incomplete human clones intended for harvest of pulmonary and coronary tissue. Product developing at 800% acceleration from the selected control group. However, several anomalies have occurred. Anomalies example, a tissue mass has developed into a tail of sorts. It circles the vat, using the aforementioned tail to propel itself. Massive tail appendage has been assigned a name, Samantha. Despite the previous belief that the circling behavior was a product of instinct, it is now clear that it has been surveying the vat's electronic safety net and searching for vulnerabilities. Samantha has been extracted and moved to security for temporary storage. She crashed violently upon removal, damaged equipment and other specimens. Below the observation platform, a sea of artificially grown flesh sits rotting, the progress of decay and only partially stalled by the chill. A broken ladder sits on its side like a wounded beast.
Perfect.
You didn't pick anything up.
I can try to make it fit, but it may break. Crowbar, go! Got it.
Please don't leave it. Nylon rope.
Shit.
Oh, my crowbar! Oh, where am I now? Oh, what?
I hate this damn place.
I'm climbing the ladder. Okay, I'm right here. The scent. Yeah, kind of. Actually, almost exactly like that, except creepier and done wrong. There's like hundreds of vats. They're just filled with gross. Ugh.
John? John, can you hear me?
Tia.
Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Was that a little girl just saying mommy? Rarely traffic areas breed unconventional forms of life. Here, the graffiti tagger has covered the tram station with widely variety of tribal markings. Boarded up entrance indicate the trams have been out of service for some time. The tram grips the track greedily with many legs. Magnetic stoppers in the tram's guide rails look sturdier than any other part of this aging vessel.
There is some sort of interference with the structure.
I'm in a tram station.
What the fuck? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore the fact. What the fuck?
Materials containment tank.
Tia, come in.
John, thank goodness, I can hear you. You just disappeared. No radio, no PDT.
Who the hell was that?
Dr. Gerardus Milan, head of special projects.
He knew you.
It's a big ship. And, I'm in a different division to him entirely. Only met him once. A real arsehole.
I just want to get my family out of this goddamn place.
That's the plan.
You mentioned earlier that you lost my PDT. What's that?
Personal data tag. Every person on board has one.
Like animals.
The tags monitor everything. Security access, food intake, location tracking.
Everyone has a tag. We can use it to find my family.
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that, John.
Like hell it doesn't. If I'm tagged, then so are they. It's said.
I can only access your tag because the Dotmix scanner's registered you. I've scanned for your family and I can't pick them up.
Are they on the ship? Have they been rescued?
It only means the PDTs haven't been activated. But I still have an idea that might just work.
The tower.
From the crew quarters, you should be close to an infirmary with a DNA sequencer. If you could get your blood into the sequencer, I can scan the ship for familial DNA, and then we can find your daughter. Then...
We can use her DNA to find Ellen.
Exactly.
Notice. Reserve power facilities are online. Backup systems are now enabled and functioning at...
Can I have a gun? Crumpled body rests against the slanted bulkhead as in a leisurely pose. Wondering it indicates that it's a security officer. I can't speak.
They cut his wrists.
The whole shift change thing is kind of strange. Putting Ronald in security when he's obviously not equipped strikes me as irresponsible. Oh well, I'm sure I can compensate. A notice went out telling us to follow new security guidelines this evening. I wonder what happened. It's only a few extra doors to lock. As far as I'm concerned, easy enough. Food supplies are stalled and people are getting nervous. Someone's been distilling alcohol despite the fact that express authorization is required to even possess it. Ivan was describing the concept of moonshine to Ronald, and the guy asked how moonshine could exist if we're in a spaceship so far away from the moon. I swear to God, if aliens board the ship and pick us off one by one or something, I want to see Ronald go first. Oh, wow. I really want to do something about this alcohol situation. It's my duty to ensure the Groom Lake's crew is secure and that important research isn't interfered with, at least. I'd like to believe so. These clouds don't share the sentiment. The acid into the ship just started exploding and jolted everything that wasn't bolted down. There's a goddamn pin stuck in the wall next to me. I can only imagine all the people injured right now. We can't leave on account of the lockdown. Lockdown or not, Station B is fucked. So getting to medical isn't happening. Someone suggested that we could use specimen transport tract, but that's shady as all hell. There's no leaving the security center now. Staring at Ronald's lifeless body is a fucking superior alternative to being trapped apart, or being ripped apart by whatever's outside. I hear screams. They're distant and muffled. Silence. 24 hours of silence. Not a scream. Not a footstep. Still, not a word from Ivan. The guy looked away from the atmosphere control room just before Ronald pulled the plug. I got bored and read Ronald's file. He had a lot of stuff running really deep. Maybe he wasn't ignorant after all. That's it for the water. Ivan refused to drink anything but moonshine. I've tried my best to get him to have water. Stubborn bastard wouldn't hear it. He hasn't moved in a while. This new guy Anderson is really something. 5 minutes in the door and he's already asking what the computers do. I like it. He's inquisitive, just like my boy back home. I'm glad he got put here in this shift change. I'm disappointed that neither of these two are ladies. I could use some female company. Well, his mind's in the right place. Okay, maybe Anderson is a little more confused than inquisitive. But his heart is in the right place. I can respect that. But Sarge? How the hell did the boy get Sarge from Saruto? Serato, Paul is just plain obnoxious. Food's not coming for a while. Fortunately, somebody's been making moonshine. It's not white oak whiskey back home. But you don't come across much liquor in space. Looks like I'll be moderating the supply, so to speak of. Hudson just tried to arrest someone. Prick. Rations are a good thing too. The liquor wasn't keeping the crew at bay like it used to. The entire ship smells like shit. It's been bad, but it gets worse every day. It's even a different type of shit every once in a while. Beyond me. Groom Lake is on lockdown. Tremors, power outages, and several injured. Some guys left 3 days ago to repair a tram station. Haven't heard from them since. I can only fear the worst. And I don't want to wait to figure out what's been going on around here. Paul and I have agreed on a solution, but Anderson isn't grasping it. I don't expect him to. I knew Anderson would have trouble coping. I knew he wouldn't understand. At least he went easier than we will. He saw so much in his short life, there just wasn't room for more. He'll never have a funeral. Nobody back home is going to think of him and wonder what happened. I think Paul and I are the only people on this ship who knew him by name. Maybe that Samantha girl he was talking about still remembers him. Oh, the guy never showed up because he got transferred to security. And this is that they're talking about the dude who renamed that clone after whoever, the Samantha. Her dog could be named after him, and or maybe he picked her a flower and she tucked it into a book. I never did read much, but right now I'd love to be holding a book. Poe would work. He's the only author I know by name. I haven't talked to Paul. He thinks I'm drinking, but I'm too preoccupied with Anderson for that. I figured I'm writing this for a reason. What if nobody ever reads it? What if the ship just drifts to the edge of the universe dead and empty? You exist. If you somehow stumble upon this, remember Anderson for me. He reminds me so much of how my son used to be. If you don't do it, nobody will. I don't beg, I never beg, but if you're a decent human, you'll know why you have to. Remember Anderson. Barely awake, typing is an effort. Moonshine is not water. Hodgin had last word. Bank of monitors were designed to display the view of various security cameras around the facility. And I'm going to touch them. Okay, so that's death, wherever that's at. That's dirt. This is something. There's dead bodies? I can't tell. They look like dead bodies. Maybe in like a lobby or something. This one doesn't work. And, yeah, if I go there, I die. That's basically what that's telling me. Alcohol is being manufactured and distributed aboard the Groom Lake. Security's opted to take an approach of non-intervention, and its effect on morale will likely prevent theft and potential riots associated with the limited rations. However, security will regulate, compensate, quantities alcohol to moderate the supply. Rations have arrived and been distributed. Very few reported or evidential cases of theft. This could be likely attributed to the moral increase speculated as a result from the distribution of alcohol. Specimen Samantha received for transport to Laboratory 18. The specimen from cloning beds is contained in an iron lung. Transport needs to be arranged quickly. Specimen is scraping against the inside of the containment unit. Tremors have struck Groom Lake. Power outages and severe injuries have been reported. Lockdown is in effect. 4 crew members have been reported missing while attempting to restore a tram station to working order. To prevent further loss or injury, the corridor has been sealed and flooded with highly corrosive gas. Activate motion detector.
I'll need to figure something out here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment of silence to remember Henry.
Let's see. Maybe,
Once we know where Becca is, how can I get to her?
There is another tram through the crew quarters. Once we know where you're going, we'll move forward from there.
More trams.
smile. God forgive us. Body lights slump against the entrance bulkhead with its heading forward. It's almost impossible to imagine him having a nap during a long shift. Except when the door slams into his fucking head.
I wish I could do something. Something.
I'm getting sick of this bumps and scrapes bullshit. I didn't get this degree just so I could stitch idiots up when they accidentally stab themselves with a pin. I want to do fun experiments. Is that too much to ask? It's not like I want to be a mad scientist and sew new arms onto people or anything, although human spiders would be cool. No, they wouldn't. It's a miracle. Security somehow ended up passing a container from one of the cloning vats onto me. It's labeled Samantha. They understand it's to be transferred to Lab 18, right? Oh well, no reason I can't observe it for a while, right? I have my loyal assistant, Miriam, make up some good excuses for me. Okay, so I need to find that container because apparently the clone is moving in that container. That's a motion sensor. The creature is marvelous. The notes include, don't say much, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have a fully formed spine when they packaged this girl up. It describes her as being just a tail. There are some other bones as well, but I didn't major in monster anatomy. I wish I had all, though. You can't make this shit up. The fucker grew eyes, I mean it. She did not have these the last time I checked. They're rudimentary, sure, but